This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and literally live while we were on stream, the new patch update information dropped. So we are here with chat right now, and I don't know if they're going to behave, but we're going to go over a lot of things. We're going to go over specifically Stella, what Stella drops, what she's going to be bringing. This is all coming out this Tuesday. We're going to be going over the new mounts, the stats on the mounts. We're going to look at the costumes. We're going to look at the episode details. We're going to look at Kona, the new familiar. We're going to do it all. So let's go ahead and chat. Are you going to say it for me? I don't think chat's going to say it because they're a little delayed, but let's dig in. All right, everybody. So if you are curious about any of these resources, they are going to be in my Discord and they will be pinned in my Discord. So make sure and go ahead. Y'all a little bit late with that dig in. Make sure to go ahead and turn up there, and you can find everything there in the Ni no Kuni section. Stella is most likely going to be released. The Mecha Dragon is another field boss that's going to be released in the future. I don't think they're going to release both. I think they're going to release Stella first. It's going to be level 89 darkness attribute, so you are going to want to have your light weapons. Recommended combat power of 933,000. So very powerful. Is going to drop the main reward of Night Eater, which we'll get into. You are also, I'm wondering if they're going to add quests to these that you are going to need to pick up the week that she drops. Her main gear, Night Eater, is going to be a ring, of course, has evasion, critical resistance, and defense on it, is going to have the ability to lower the defense of the opponent that you're fighting. So when attacking, there's a chance that a ball will reduce the enemy's defense power for 6 seconds and also deal darkness damage. So the amount of defense that it lowers is upwards of 20%, with a 20% chance of proccing with a 75-second CD at max level. And then at the higher level, it's 150-second CD. So keep that in mind. This is going to be incredibly powerful in a variety of situations. Kona is going to be the new familiar that's coming out. Now, they do call this Terra Kona in the event update notice. A couple of things to know is that on the JP and Korean side, this was temporarily a limited familiar. So you did potentially have a chance to miss out on Kona. Also, another thing to note is Kona is a very powerful familiar and is going to be very good, especially for those of you that have might in your formation. So we don't know if Kona is going to be limited on the global side or not yet, but there is going to be some pretty good things going on here. Kona is released with the Legend of the Ancient Genie, and very similar to Toko on the other side, on the other version of the game, he also gets a bonus to boosted damage in the dungeons for story episode 01. So he's going to be very powerful when the new content kind of releases next week. And we're going to go into all the details on the Genie episode, so brace yourself. So there's going to be a lot going on here. His primary ability is going to be a large single hit of fire damage, damage boosted against enemies with the burn debuff, which is going to make him really powerful with might, because might inflicts burn. He can also inflict knockdown. His passive is going to boost damage by a small percentage for every attack type familiar in your party, making him a universally very powerful familiar in a lot of different situations for PvP and PvE. And in dueling mode, he's very similar. Yeah, I don't even know the name of that familiar. The familiar that has the light-based familiar that's a slug. His ability where he hits enemies and then every 3 attacks, he does a 90% AoE attack damage. Kona is very similar to that. So after every 3 normal attacks, moderate fire damage to nearby enemies will come from Kona. So the rankings here from PvE is going to be a solid attacker that synergizes with other attack type familiars, particularly might. PvP works best if you're going all out with attack familiars. So if you're running a mixed familiar party, going to be very powerful for that. And then while good in adventuring and dueling mode, will activate its area attack very frequently due to its skill. Although the attack itself isn't that powerful, having to go off every few seconds can help overpower many foes. I do wonder how relevant Kona is going to be with the dominance of Hippocampus and Suryu as well in the game. So that is something to think about as well. While we're here, we are going to go over story episode 1. Now, before I go over story episode 1, this is going to be the longest portion of the video, and there's a lot of reading here. So if you can't suffer through the reading, or if you want to go through it yourself or share it with your guild members, this is on the main information webpage linked on the Reddit thread, on the primary Reddit thread. You can also find it in my Discord to share with people. But we do have the photos of the magic carpet that's going to be coming out. The magic carpet will be purchasable only. You can only get it through purchasing. You have the costumes here, which are going to be going through. I'm a little upset that the rogue's face isn't as derpy as it was in the promotional trailer. I thought it was really, like, I loved the rogue's face in the promotional trailer, so I was a little bummed out. And most of these you guys have already all seen, but I just want to go over it before we kind of get into the meat and potatoes, which is what we're going to be doing in the Ancient Genie event. And I have Kuya in chat spamming when this is going to release. It's coming out this Tuesday, you guys. After maintenance. So coming through here, when you log in, you're going to get a cutscene. It'll kind of trigger a story, and you're going to, it's almost like it's adding a new story, like a separate story quest. Once you finish the first part of the story, you'll unlock more features in the story episode book, and so you're going to get things like story dungeons. So story dungeons, there are several story dungeons available. In each, you will face off against the Ancient Genie, who is a wood element monster. Each entry to the dungeon requires an appropriate ticket. So you have solo and beginner, you have party and normal. Both use normal dungeon tickets. Solo challenge uses a dungeon challenge ticket, and party and hard uses a dungeon hard ticket. All three types of tickets can be purchased in the event token shop. There are a limited number you can purchase per day with tokens. There is no limit to tickets purchased with diamonds due to the length of the event. It is recommended to simply buy tickets with tokens as the event runs for several weeks and you should have enough time to get enough rewards just from dailies. Now, one thing to consider here as well is that you can buy a copy of Toko for the tokens, and we are looking at potentially getting 2 copies of Toko because there is a pass, which we'll get into, and you get a copy of Toko from the pass, and if you buy the purchasable version of the pass, you can potentially get multiple versions of Toko from that. So in my experience, the pass is usually about $20. I don't know what it's going to be like here, but usually these passes are worth it in terms of diamonds that they give you anyway. So you may consider that. Again, I know people are going to get triggered because I'm saying there's going to be a purchasable pass and people are like, but it's just the way it is right now. Just telling you guys, you're still going to get a free Toko either way, and potentially 2 if there's one in the token shop and 1 at the end of the regular free pass. Solo and beginner is going to be 100,000. Solo challenge. So the solo challenge is going to be a ranked time attack battle. So it's going to be based on the amount of damage that you're able to do and how long you can survive fighting the Genie. So rank 1 to 10, you're going to get a title, a Desert Prince hat, a Desert Mask accessory, a familiar statuary, which can be placed in the familiar forest. Rank 11 to 100, you're going to get a title, a fancy turban, which is a hat, a Desert Mask, and a familiar statuary. And then rank 101 to 1000 gets the title, the Desert Mask accessory, and a familiar statuary. So keep in mind all of this. Party and normal. So when you're running the party content, there's a 5-person dungeon challenge, and it works like Dimensional Border. Essentially, you create or join a party to challenge the Ancient Genie. There are multiple levels in the dungeon. You can access the next level by clearing the current one, each as an increasing recommended combat power. So it starts out at 128,000 and goes all the way to 502,000. Lamp skill EXP gain is the same for all levels. Very important to keep that in mind. But you will get increasing numbers of Genie drops for your collector's books and better Tetra block packs for your lamp Tetra block puzzle with higher difficulty. So try to play the hardest level you can, reasonably clear with an equally leveled party. Then you have Party Hard. So Party Hard, this is a harder version of the party dungeon. There are 3 levels. You must clear a level to unlock the next higher level. So Lamp Skill rank 15, suggested combat power 679,000. Lamp Skill rank 17, suggested combat power 949,000. And Lamp Skill rank 20, suggested combat power 1,210,000. There's going to be episode quests, so these episode quests function like reputation quests in the main story. Some quests can be repeated daily, while others are one-time events that generally progress the story. Clearing enough quests will boost your reputation level and unlock additional quests and story. Lamp skills. Lamp skills are a set of passive boosts to your character's base stats for the duration of the event. Now remember, Kona can contribute stats to you, and also Toko can contribute stats to you as well. Clearing the story dungeon will give you lamp EXP that will rank up the lamp skill. Each time it ranks up, you'll get a star that can be spent on the lamp skill tree. Each star can level up single skills by 1 level. Once 3 skills in a row have been leveled, you will unlock the next row. You can reset lamp skill allocation points if you want to adjust the skill tree. However, it will cost Twilight Syndicate event tokens, and how you get those tokens will be made clear here in just a little bit. And it does talk about you can increase attack up, crit up, defense up, H up. You can increase the appearance of Twilight Syndicate in Chaos Field dungeons. I'm not sure what that looks like, or appearance in the field. My understanding is you just see them around you as like potentially things that are out of the ordinary. And then we also have an episode pass. So this is what I was talking about. There are 2 levels of episode pass, the free one and the premium one. You will receive a 4-star Toko familiar from both passes, but we'll receive more of them from the premium pass. So you could potentially get up to 2, maybe even more than that from the premium pass for this. Episode missions, these are a series of tasks that you must complete that are all related to the event in some way, and include tasks like clearing the story, dungeon, fulfilling a number of episode quests, investigating odd happenings in Evermore, and defeating members of the Twilight Syndicate. So basically, there is a lot of odd things going on in the world. Some of these odd things are going to be like pots that have voice boxes over them, right? They're going to be animals that aren't really animals that you can kick instead of picking up. And what's going to happen is these are going to turn into Twilight Syndicate members when you call them out. So you are going to want to immediately do this. You're probably going to want to do this a certain amount of times per day to get these tokens. You'll need to investigate a certain number of suspicious people, animals, and objects, and defeat a certain number of syndicate members to clear certain episodes, missions, and event missions. So this is going to be things that you are going to want to do, quite differently. And Matthew actually says he has Night Eater, and it just says decreases defense, not necessarily to darkness damage. So he wonders if maybe that's a global difference. It's possible. It's definitely something we'll have to check when we do actually trigger its effects and when it does go live. Event missions, these missions are separate from the storybook interface. They are located in the events icon in the top right. There are 2 sets of missions. There are 3 sets of missions to clear. You must fully clear 1 section before unlocking the next. Clearing all missions will give you an item that you can redeem for a traditional desert hat, which is a costume item. Each mission also has its own individual reward, and you're going to see a lot of rewards here that have energy drinks, Tetro puzzle blocks, recipes. This is going to be your standard like reward system. You're going to get syndicate tokens from this as well. So you're going to get a lot of energy drinks. I imagine we'll probably have some aromas in here. Group 3 does have some tickets as well. So this is kind of like just these standard rewards that you're going to get from completing missions. Part 2 missions are very similarly the same. You must fully clear 1 section before unlocking the next. They'll give you a 4-star equipment box. Each mission also has its own individual reward, and here you get some tickets, you get subjugation certificates, all of that. The Infiltration event is another event that coincides with this. So every day at 8 p.m., there is an event. You will see a notification pop up, and you can also access this through the global notifications icon on the right. You'll be sent to the Lupaka farm near Zephyr Station. If you join early, you'll end up in a holding area by the Evermore sewer secret entrance. A lot of Lupakas will be set loose, and you and the other players will need to single out the ones that are Twilight Syndicate members in disguise and defeat them. So normal Lupakas will have a pickup icon. Disguised enemies will have a kick icon instead. Once all rounds are clear, you will get an Ancient Genie sealed chest as a reward, which includes some materials for boosting your character and familiars. This is what this screen is going to look like. Finally, we do have a event token shop where they do say they'll have a variety of items that are limited to 1 per account. Tickets are linked to 2 per day. A lot of this is going to be a little bit restricted in terms of what you can do and how you can do this. So that's pretty much all we have. I wasn't expecting to make this video right away because I found it sounded like I figured this news would come out on Sunday like it usually does, but it actually came out in the middle of my Saturday stream. So shout out to Entertaining Saturdays live to everybody that's in here right now. And thank you everybody for hanging out. We're gonna go ahead and end this video now. So if you're on stream, I'll be right back for you. If you guys are new viewers of mine, please hit that subscribe button. I am trying to grow as a Kuni content creator, and I would really appreciate it. Catch you guys later.